Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be showing you my best polishes for the month of August. So if you don't know, a couple of months ago I started this new monthly series where I basically curate some polishes from my collection that's inspired by the month's birthstones, zodiacs, flowers, and even holidays. And I'm really excited to show you this month's lineup, so without further ado, let me show you my picks. I'm sure you're familiar with August's Peridot birthstone, which is this beautiful, bright, yellowy green kind of color, and it represents things like good fortune, harmony, healing, strength, and protection, but also compassion and creativity. I chose Cupcake Polish's Magic, which is this lime green kind of micro glitter, since I thought the shade was a perfect color match, and I love the name, but I also really love how sparkly and twinkly this one is. It's literally like wearing crushed gemstones on your nails. Sadly, I didn't realize this one was retired, so I think I would also include something like ILNP's Willow or Clover, which might be a similar color match but are still sparkly. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Cirque's Peridot, which I recently destashed, but it's quite literally the perfect match for this birthstone. The secondary birthstone is Spinel, which comes in an array of bright colors like blues and purples, but also beautiful pinky reds. Spinel symbolizes things like royalty, wealth, power, growth, and inspiration, but can also represent more physical things like energy and stamina since it's associated with the root chakra. I obviously love the more pinky red kind of colors of Spinel, and I thought ILNP's Petals would be such a perfect match for a bold and empowering color. It also has some shifts to red or purple too, which I think just add to the dimension of the shade and make it shine like a jewel. We start August in the ever-powerful sign of Leo, and I just had to use Cirque Colors Sun-Kissed since Leo is ruled by the sun and they are always associated with gold. This might not be a super in-your-face pick that perfectly captures a Leo's larger-than-life persona, but I do think a gold flaky really captures the confident aura of a Leo. So later in the month, we move into Virgo season, and I thought ILNP's Sundown was the perfect shade to represent the ending of both Leo season as well as the sunset of summer before we head into a new season. August Virgos especially exude warmth and charisma, which I wanted to focus on since usually Virgos are painted as being very critical and judgmental, which still can be true, but they are also associated with the Virgin, so they can embody things like purity and grace and elegance, which I think the shade perfectly captures. One of August's birth flowers is the Gladiolus, which very much sounds like a gladiator, and it definitely ties into what the flower represents, which are things like struggle, strength, victory, and pride, which are very similar to things that the birthstones represent, or even the energies of Leo season especially. So I really loved seeing this like overarching theme across all of these different elements of the month. The flowers come in an assortment of beautiful colors, and I wanted to mainly choose Great Lakes Lacquer Strength Untold since it captures the beauty and range of the flowers, but also the name is just so perfect for what it represents. The other birth flower is the poppy, and poppies definitely come in different colors with different meanings. More often than not, red poppies are associated with things like remembrance and death. But in other countries, like in Asia, they can be associated with success and good fortune. It's always interesting to see how colors and their meaning can change just depending on where we are. But right away, I knew that I had to use ILNP's Poppy, which came out a couple of summers ago, since it is just the perfect poppy red. So even though it's normally associated with things like remembrance and death, I feel like it's still a beautiful reminder that those things are just a part of life. Now, getting into the holidays, we're starting with National Watermelon Day, which is celebrated on August 3rd, and I chose Holo Taco's Sourdough to represent this holiday. It's a beautiful, vibrant green that I feel like could kind of match the watermelon rind, and it's filled with a pink shimmer, which is obviously for the inside. So to me, this is like a perfect sour watermelon candy kind of color, which I'm a big fan of. So I thought it would be fun to also include some watermelon-scented cuticle oils that I have, starting with Cuticle Buddy scented in Watermelon Slushie. I especially love this one because she used these little black obsidian beads for the inside to look like watermelon seeds. And I also really love the Deco Beauty Watermelon Cuticle Oil. The smell is just so good, where I would say it's a little sweeter or more sugary, but not in a sickly way. Then on August 4th, we celebrate National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, and I had the perfect polish for this one. This is Painted Polish's Let's Get Chip Faced. This one came out a couple of years ago in a holiday collection that was all cookie themed. Just so perfect. I really love this one. It's basically a perfect cookie colored crelly base that's filled with these black and dark brown metallic micro glitters that just perfectly look like little chocolate chips. I really hope she brings this one back sometime or just brings back something similar. On August 22nd, we celebrate World Plant Milk Day, and again, I had the perfect, not just polish, but collection for this. But I am just going to be featuring 2 polishes from Dimension Nails' plant-based milk collection. This first one is one of my top favorites, called Vanilla Almond Milk. It is just a perfect milky white crelly with a flawless formula, a beautiful paddle brush, really great even coverage, whether you decide to wear it in 1, 2, or 3 coats. I'm sure so many of you are familiar with this one already. And I also wanted to include the Banana Hemp Milk shade, which is this really light pastel yellow, which I think is just so pretty. Admittedly, I do like this one built up a little bit more in at least 2 coats, but preferably 3. It just gives you the softest wash of a banana shade, just so perfect. But if you're not a fan of yellows, you might like the rest of the collection. It has some beautiful pastels. And lastly, on August 30th, we celebrate National Beach Day, and I knew I had to include Cracked Polish's Sandy Cracks, which just came out in the Beach collection. I guess technically that whole collection could also work perfectly for National Beach Day, but I just cannot get over how perfect this polish is for the name alone. But I do really love this bronzy neutral shade. It is just so gorgeous and glowy. To me, this shade perfectly encapsulates the feeling of being at the beach all day. So that wraps up my best polishes for August. As always, I can't wait to hear what you think of this month's lineup because I really like it. I never go in with the intention to make the full lineup super cohesive where it looks like it can be a full collection, because obviously there's a lot of different like inspirations and they might not work well together, but I feel like this month they really did. So it's just a fun little bonus how cohesive they are. I feel like usually around this time of year is when we start to see some brands, mainly mainstream, start to roll out their fall collections, and I personally think it is way too early. August for me is very much a summer month. The earliest that I would start celebrating fall is September 1st, so I was just really happy that this month's lineup is still very like bright and bold and colorful, very summery, but with those like sunset elements that I think tie so well into the season sunsetting. Still so crazy to me that we're already in the month of August too. I feel like the summer is just going by so fast, but I'm gonna enjoy it as best as I can with these shades and a few of the others from my summer favorites video. So I would love to know what you wear during this time of year. Are you still rocking the bold, bright, colorful summer shades, or do you start to transition into fall? Because as some of you know, I am a fall baby myself, so I am always excited to see those collections, but sometimes I'm like, it just happens a little too early. So as always, make sure to leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!